Well, hi, air signs. It's time for your weekly reading. So, let's get started. I have shuffled these cards really good. So, let's see what the universe has to say. If you feel compelled, please like and subscribe. This is for our air signs Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. What can they expect coming up here? What can our air signs expect? Let's see what we have here. Ooh. Ooh, the Judgment card right in the middle. Please give me more cards for this reading for our air signs universe. There you are. There's also Aquarius. Please give me more cards for this reading for our air signs. Well, we have plenty of cards to get started. So air signs, the overall energy of this reading is a Judgment card. Wow. Okay, you're going through a huge spiritual learning experience. This is usually a difficult thing to get through. The Judgment, the universe teaching a lesson for you in order to move on. They may have tried teaching this lesson last life, the life before, many times during this life even. Sometimes it only takes once and you learn it so you're able to move on. But it looks to me, as glancing at these cards, since the World card is on the other side of this Judgment card, that you are actually learning that lesson and getting ready to enter a new life cycle. So that's awesome. But that's what this has been all about, is a spiritual lesson. Up here in your highest energy, we have the Sun. Lovely new beginnings. This is with joy. It has something to do with a soulmate. This is the Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups is friendships with love. So, you're having a new beginning with a soulmate. Okay, your friends. There's love involved. I don't know if it's physical or just through the heart yet. But we also have the Six of Pentacles up there in your highest energy. And that tells me that there is a little bit of off-balancing going on here. I don't know which one. I would think it would be them, since it could be you now. You are learning this spiritual lesson. But one of the two of you is getting the short end of the stick, so to speak. The other one is kind of tipping the scales off balance for the other one. This is getting breadcrumbs. It's right next to the Two of Cups, and it's right next to your joyous new beginning. So let's see what is going on here. Under the Sun card is the Six of Swords. That is moving away from rocky waters. So you're moving away from the Six of Pentacles, from that off-balance feeling. It seems to me that the reason this was up here in your highest energy is this is what we've learned a lesson about here. It's either how to not let someone control the balance in your life and let them give you breadcrumbs, or it's not to treat others that way. It's one of the two. But you are moving ahead. You are selling away. And it looks like you're selling away together here. into smoother, calmer, more peaceful waters. This Six of Swords now is right next to the Judgment card. That's where you're going. So the Six of Pentacles is being left behind. So you're moving with the Six of Swords. On the other side of the Judgment, oh, well, let me point out too that just above the Judgment card, it is about the soulmate relationship. Very obvious. It's a soulmate, friends with love relationship. That's what it's all about. This judgment, this learning experience, spiritual. On the other side is the World card. You're entering a new life cycle. Here's that Six of Swords. Entering a new life cycle with your soulmate. You're not alone. You worked things out, figured things out. I still don't know which of the two of you was causing the imbalance. It may have been both of you. But spiritual lessons have been learned, and it might have been for both of you. Under the Six of Swords is a Knight of Wands. Now, this is something that you're moving away from, for sure. It's that Knight of Wands energy, the in and out energy, rushing in, rushing out. So one of you two, male or female, had a tendency to kind of rush in and rush out. Left the other person waiting a lot. But you're moving away from it. This is a higher energy card here. And you are moving away from this type of energy. So one of you was running in and out of the other's life. And leaving the other one waiting, watching, wondering, waiting for things to come to fruition. Because this Knight of Wands, when this Knight of Wands comes rushing in with that wand, that's a wand of passion. But it can be mistaken for a wand of new beginnings every single time. But then they turn around and rush out. And then they leave you, and it's you because it's right next to the King of Swords, in this waiting state. So I think it was mostly your partner, the other person that was rushing in and out and leaving you in this waiting state. This waiting for things to happen, for things to come together for the two of you. It's right under the Judgment card. There's a lot of waiting involved. A lot of wondering if it was ever going to bear fruit, this relationship. And it got you to the point where, here you are, the King of Swords, the air sign, Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius, holding your sword up. Oh, you're protecting yourself now. And this is creating enough energy for you. This is the learning experience. I think this is, I don't know how long that sword's been just down. But now it's up. And you're looking out for yourself. You're protecting yourself. You're sticking up for yourself. And it's right under the World card, the new cycle. So it's because of your actions, because of your spiritual lesson, that you're able to move into a new life cycle, which is extremely joyful. It's a great new beginning. All right? It's away. You're moving away from the Six of Pentacles. It's a new life cycle. See this figure looking back at that like, this isn't for me anymore. I'm moving on. But you're moving on together. You probably had a truthful conversation about all this because I see the swords here. The sword is up. And it almost feels like there's a decision that the other person had to make, is because they know you have a soulmate connection, and it feels like they needed to make a decision on whether they wanted to continue to see you or not, because you put your sword up and you're not going to allow this in and out energy of just tipping your scales and receiving breadcrumbs out of this relationship. So next to the King of Swords here, what you're going to speak up about is that Ten of Cups. There's a lot of love. You've developed a lot of love for this friend. Well, it was a friends with benefits relationships. Although you may not have seen that for a while, and I think you finally did see that that's what it was becoming, or that's what it was, because they would rush in and out of your life, even though they are a soulmate. But this is what you want. So the Page of Wands here, this is about speaking up about what it is that you want. It's on the other side of that Ten of Cups was that King of Swords, putting your sword up. And that sword is conversation too. That's truthful and clear, concise communication. And it seems to me that this conversation is going to include that Ten of Cups. And you're like, no, I need to know that you are on the same page with me, that you would like to see if this relationship can develop into the Ten of Cups. The way things are going now wasn't heading that way at all, because they kept running out. And when they keep running out, that Ten of Cups isn't happening. So you took charge. You took charge of yourself and your life. We have the Star card here. You might be an Aquarius, or you might have Aquarius in your chart. The other person may even be an air sign, an Aquarius. But more importantly, it's right next to this new life cycle, and it's right above that Ten of Cups. So you've done a lot of healing. You've gone deep. And probably during one of these times here where the Knight of Wands ran out again of your life, and you probably spent that time healing. And this card of healing, you're realizing what it is that you want and you weren't getting with this type of action over here with this Knight of Wands. The Star card is like looking into that pool of water and seeing your own reflection come back at you, reminding you of who you are and what you want from life. It's a very spiritual card. That's why there's no clothes on this figure. You heal right down to the essence of who you are. That's why this whole new life cycle is coming in. That's why you put your sword up. You're like, wait a minute here, I'm losing myself. And you got it together and you got yourself back. It took some healing, though. Healing's not easy either, along with the Judgment card. We have the Eight of Wands up here next to the Six of Pentacles. So Eight of Wands is conversation. That could be through texting, emailing, whatever, Skype, Facebook. But in the conversation, in the Page of Wands, and speaking up, okay, about what's going on and how you need things to move forward, or at least have the feeling, that you're both on the same page, is about you getting breadcrumbs from the relationship. So that will be brought up in conversation. And there's going to be a lot of talking back and forth about that. That is of your healing process. Are there more cards, universe, for our air signs? More cards for our air signs. We got a few more. Yeah, in this conversation down here that you're going to have, because it's bubbling to the surface, you have to say something, because, I think it's almost like an ultimatum, like, wait a minute here, no more running in and out. I think what you're going to talk about is, so on the other side is the Nine of Cups of love, and we have the Ten of Cups on the other side of the Page of Wands. So I think what you're talking about is, if you can't celebrate this love together that you have for each other, sunshine and rainbows here, if you cannot celebrate that together, you're going to put your love on the shelf. It won't be up in the sky anymore for you both to celebrate. You're going to protect it. You're going to go into self-protection mode and put that love on the shelf behind you. And then above the Page of Wands here, we have the Three of Wands. That is waiting for your ships to come in. Waiting, watching, and wondering card, the Three of Wands. So this is, this is something you need to speak out about. This is every time that they would run out and you're waiting, that's what you're waiting for. You're waiting for them to come back in. You're thinking that they are your ship. And you're a soulmate. You do have a connection. There's no denying that. But you find yourself waiting and waiting all the time for them to come back in, and that's part of your healing. You blocked it for a while. Got the Two of Swords here. You weren't really looking at the truth of the situation. You got your swords up, and your heart is crossed. It's like if you were to realize what you find yourself doing all the time in this relationship. If you were to realize that, and actually look at it, it would hurt you. So you kept your swords up. You kept your eyes blindfolded. That's going to all come up in conversation. This is all a part of your healing, all a part of how you're getting to this new beginning with your soulmate. Okay? You're moving forward with your soulmate after all this is happening. You are moving forward. They love you. They have a giant cup of love for you. We have the Moon card here. They just got comfortable in running in and out because you let them. And they didn't really catch on that this was bothering you, so to speak. Well, it is. So we have the Moon card here. This is the card for Pisces. So Pisces might be in your chart or around this reading. So these are things to be revealed. Page of Wands, always waiting. And this is going to come up in conversation. This conversation, things are going to be revealed or come to light during this. This is like a deep conversation that you're going to have with your soulmate and your lover, your friend. But you're going to be moving ahead together into a new life cycle. You learned your judgment. Thank you for watching Quickie Tarot Air Signs.